Okay, so here we are, we're at step 7 and we're going to attach the front arms. And you can see these are the arms that we built earlier. There's just this other piece, C18, which is going to go on either side. Here are the screws, the O-rings, and the gearbox joints, and then the grease that we're going to need. I know I've put ball bearings in here, and normally I wouldn't use grease, but I think I am going to put a little bit here, just because, I don't know, I just have a feeling I want to do that. And then you can see that we're going to use one of the drive shafts to help put the O-rings into those gear joints. So I think we'll start with this side, and we'll go ahead and put those on. Okay, so let's get one of the O-rings in there. And it shows you using the drive shaft. To getting it in. Of course, it's got to go in somewhat level first, so that you can then use this to squish it in. Yeah. Okay, so we've got it in there. So that just provides a bit of buffer, and I think it means that it also doesn't allow the drive shaft to go completely all the way in. But I think that's good. So I'll do the same with the other one. So that's in. So now let's put on the, actually in fact, let's just put those in, because then they're in. There we go. And put the other one. Okay, those cups are on. So now let's take a look at this one here. We've got this screw here, and it's going to go through the bottom and the bottom of this. So we're going to take this one, put that on there, and slide it through. And then you can see we've got to screw it in. So it's on, it just needs to now be screwed in all the way so that it's tight. And then you're gonna see that we've got this one to put on as well. And it's telling you, be careful not to tighten it due to the fact that this has to move. So we'll tighten it on, but we won't put, we won't fully tighten it. So there's the lower arm. So we'll do the same with the top. Grab one of these little screws, and then you can see that it's going in the top hole of this piece right here. So we're going to stick that through and put it in the top hole. And that's going to provide some, that moves there, so we're good. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the other side, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so there are the front arms. Everything is on. So we can now move on to step 8, which is the front axle. So for step 8, the front axle, you can see that we're going to build both sides. I've decided to start on this side, so I'm only grabbing parts F F7 and F9, just so that there's no confusion. Here's what we're needing for step 8. You'll see the plastic bearings are being replaced by the ball bearings. We've got the kingpin, the ball connectors, and the wheel axles. So we'll go ahead and build this side first, and then I'll build the other side. So let's get the ball connector attached to this, and you can see that it's going to go into the outer one. So we'll put that here, and we need to use the box wrench to install it. There we go. That is done. So that part is done. So then you can see that you need to put a bearing. So we'll put that on the inside. And I think I'll use the box wrench again. There we go, to push it in. So there we go. There is the bearing on the inside. And then it shows us you putting this through here. And because we're going to, I think actually because I am going to put a little bit of grease on this side of it. So let's just do... And let's stick that back in there. So that's that. And of course there's going to be another bearing on this side, as you can see, because that's the outer part. That's going to, you know, the wheel and the tire on this side, but that will require another bearing. But at least there's one on the inside there. And then we're going to take this piece right here, and you can see it's going to attach to this part. So that's got to go on like that. And we're going to take the kingpin, and it's going to get screwed into the bottom of that one. We'll go in, just need to make sure it's in the right spot. In fact, I might take the other one, stick it on to hold it in place. It doesn't really work, but let's just see. That helped with that side. There we go. So, takes a bit of doing to get them started, but now that they're in, we'll screw them in. And those will be screwed all the way in. So here's the finished product, and you can see I screwed in the two kingpins. What I was finding is with the camera, it was difficult. I needed leverage. I pretty much need to be able to hold the whole thing and then make sure that I'm tightening this up. And I mean, it's nice and smooth. It's not binding in any way. So it's just a matter of screwing those two in. So I'm going to do the same with the other one. So I'm going to build the other side, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so both front axles are now finished. So what we'll do is we'll move on to step 9, which is attaching the front axles. And you can see we're going to need to grease the dog bone ends and put them in. And here we are. We've got the step screws, the screw pins, and both the drive shafts. So I think we'll start on this side, and then we'll do the other. Okay, so first off, we're going to need to grease the dog bones on either side. Because this is going to have to go in before you actually attach the arms to the chassis. It's not really possible to do it any other way. I'm not going too crazy with it, but I definitely want it in there. Okay, so now stick that dog bone in this side, and you're going to need to stick the other dog bone in the other side, and that way you're holding the two sides firm. Oh, hold up, I missed one little thing. I've got to get that shaft through. You can see through the arm piece before it goes onto the shaft, because ultimately that's the part we want to screw down. So now once those are in, we take the arm and that and flick it in, just get into there. And now we take one of the pins, put it through. Of course that came out because I didn't have it right. Stick that in there. Do this again. Hold that tight. Get the pin through. There we go. Okay, so you can see how that's set up, so that's going to attach to here. But first of all, let's get that other pin in. So I'm going to screw that in temporarily, at least get one of them in, and then I'll screw in the top end, and same thing, I'll do that temporarily. Well, pretty much screwed that side in altogether. But then what you see is, what we've got to do is now that step screw goes through the top piece and then into the top of the arm. So we'll grab this one, put it through, and put it through. And now we'll screw this on. And it'll be the same thing. You're not going to want to over tighten, just simply because there's got to be that free motion to allow this to go up and down. So you can see everything's in, and now you've got the free motion for steering and the up and down, and we're ready to go. So I might tighten it a little bit more just off camera because it is a bit in the way, and I'm just kind of curious to see. But I'll go ahead and do the other side, and then we can move on. Okay, so there is the finished front arms and drive shafts in. So this is looking cool. I can already tell there's a bit of weight to this, and obviously there needs to be now that the front wheels are the driving wheels. So this is cool. So let's move on to step 10. Now 10 is attaching the steering linkage.